We just did a video that's now on our Facebook Live, on our Facebook page about proper migration from CreativeStudio 3 to CreativeStudio 4. What we're going to do now is show you some features of our SPM. We know a lot of people have asked some questions about SPM. One of the things I originally wanted to talk about today, but then decided it needs to wait one more day, is the proper installation of our SPM, because I only have a Mac, and we know some of you guys have PCs. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an on-screen walkthrough of how to install on a Mac and how to install on a PC, and we're going to upload both of those videos to social media and YouTube within the next day or two. So, please bear with us on that one, but, we're going to make sure that we show you guys that proper migration. We know a lot of you have had some questions. I know our support staff has helped a lot of you, but for anybody still waiting to download or confused, we'll help you out with that. A lot of people coming in and saying, hi Leanne, hi Maria, Roloff, Jennifer, hi guys, thanks for joining us. So let's jump into how to print stuff with SPM once it's already been installed. So I've opened up our new CreativeStudio, and here you see the front main page. I'm going to start creating, and what I did was I already created something earlier today to use to print, just because I wanted to make these videos nice and quick, because we know that a lot of people don't have a lot of time to watch really long videos. Hey Paula, so this is a coaster I made earlier, and I actually made this using all free designs, and this is actually just one heart image, and I used the tiling feature, and then I changed the color of each of the hearts to make them different. So I really like this design. Oh, Russell is actually flying to Alaska, so that's really cool. So he's watching from a plane. That is really awesome. So this is the design I made earlier. It's already been saved, and now I want to print it. So I'm gonna hit print, and automatically my SPM generates. Latera's having trouble making her colors bright. I'm not sure if that's before or after you print. Let me know. And just so you guys know, we know a lot of people are going to start asking some questions. We're going to stick to SPM in this video, but in the next few minutes, Jesse is going to join me again, and we're going to do just a full-blown question and answer session where you guys can ask your questions, and we can try to best answer them to our abilities without being, able to troubleshoot or get into anyone's computer from here. So please save your questions for then, and we will try to address as many people as we can. But like I said, want to make this quick. So we've opened up, we've pressed the print button that's automatically opened up our Sawgrass Print Manager. As you can see here, this is what happens when you press the print button, and we have a visual of what our coaster looks like. We have the ability to choose the product that we're working with. We have the ability to choose the paper we're working with, and we also have the ability to choose the mode of color we want. So this is probably going to be more of a graphic color mode. So as you can see here, if I just press the print button, it's going to start printing on this. But I don't want that to happen, because I want to print multiple of these coasters on a sheet of paper. We know a lot of you want to do that. You're trying to figure out how to. Here is what you have to do. It's slightly different than the old one. This comes with an automatic print setting, which means if this button is clicked, the second you press print, it'll print. It's probably going to take about 35 seconds. We know it's a little bit longer than the old CreativeStudio. The reason why it takes a little bit longer this time around is because there's a few other loops it has to go through in the whole interweb world that the old one didn't. So I know a lot of you are worried because within the first 30 seconds of hitting print, it's not printing yet and you think there's a problem. Just know it is taking its time, but it is supposed to eventually print as long as the SPM is installed properly and all the steps have been taken properly. So if I want to be able to put multiple designs on one sheet of paper, I'm going to unselect auto print. Dana again is asking a question. We'll try to get to that in a little bit. Like I said, this is just going to be an SPM video, and we're going to get to questions later on when Jesse joins me. So unclick auto print and then hit print. And this is going to open up another window that is almost identical to the old VPM within your old CreativeStudio. This is going to take a second to load. And then I'm going to hit this print has been successfully queued. And it might take a minute or two. And right now I'm in a full screen mode on my computer. I'm going to apologize because I have to get out of the full screen mode because the pop-up will appear behind my screen. My desktop is a mess, so please don't be alarmed. So I'm going to get out of here. And as you see, here is my print manager. And this, again, is very similar to the old CreativeStudio and what you see here. You still have the choice of substrates, your paper. So anything you could have done in the window that was part of your CreativeStudio that shows up with the automatic print can also be done in here if you choose to not automatically print. So I can do my layout, my jobs, and just like in the old version of VPM, by pressing copies, you can increase the number of designs that are on one sheet of paper. And then we know this one is kind of all on top of each other. We can increase the spacing between them so that multiple ones can be seen on one page. This is obviously an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. There's not a ton of room, so you might only be able to get 4 at a time if they're not too far apart. 2 at a time if you want more spacing between them. Again, it's just like the old one. Also from here, you can work with your color mode, do any of the color adjustments like you used to be able to, work with your layout, your materials, change your printers if you have more than one. So that is how, and you know, I'm just gonna press print here. So that is how you can do multiple at a time with this new CreativeStudio. We know when people originally saw that new pop-up window that came already migrated into the new CreativeStudio, there was some fear because you couldn't see everything and it looked like there wasn't as much you could do with your SPM. It's that automatic print button that needs to be unclicked if you want to dive even further into your VPM. Jennifer, oh, you want to know about how to do several different. Okay, so to do several different, and it's going to be difficult for me to show this because I don't have any currently saved in my hot folder on my desktop, but I'll walk you through it anyways. So you're going to go back into where we were, which, hold on, I might have the window still popped up. No, I don't. So you're going to click off auto print. So let's click off auto print, press print here, and while that's loading, I can show you all the multiple versions of this that were printed out using the Sawgrass Print Manager. So okay, we're gonna queue this, and it might take a second to generate behind me here. Just give me 1 second. I do want to show you this because it is almost exactly the same, it's just slightly different. And it looks like it hasn't generated that pop-up window yet. There it is, okay. Like I said, don't be alarmed, it does take a little bit longer than the old one because of all the routing that has to be done up in cyberspace. So here is your current design. You're going to click down here in this plus button. And this will give you the ability to add files that you already have saved on hot folders in your desktop. Like I said, I don't currently have any saved, so I'm not going to be able to show you exactly how to do it, how to migrate something specifically, but this is how you can do it. Or what you can do is you just leave this window open. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You leave that window open, then you click on another design behind you. Let this come up. Can you tell I was making Valentine's Day coasters? You're gonna press print again. That window will come up again. Once again, unclick auto print and press print, and that should generate in that version of, in that SPM window that we already have popped up. So again, press the OK button, give it a few seconds to pull up, and then when we go back into this window that is just behind this screen here, it should be loaded into that queue. There it goes. So there you go. Both are loaded. Yep, Jennifer, I hope that you're catching what I'm doing right now. Jennifer, so both are loaded right here together, and you can do the same thing where you can increase the distance between them, adjust the layouts, adjust the color. These are not photographic. I'd probably print them as graphic. Adjust everything here as well. So that's how you do 2 different types of designs on the same sheet of paper. There's one more thing I do want to cover with you guys. Sorry, I didn't print that out because I was on to the next topic. I do want to just kind of show you a little bit more of the ins and outs of the Sawgrass Print Manager that is on your desktop. So first of all, before you print, always make sure that it is actively open on your desktop. You're not going to see it on your main page, but you'll be able to see it up in the bar on top of your desktop or in the lower bar down here. Then it is ready to print. That might be part of the reason why some of you are having a hard time printing, is because it's not actively open. One of the things that I do is I have mine set so that it opens up once I log into my computer. Sarah, you love the 3D factor. So do we. We love the 3D factor here. And how you can make sure that it opens up the second you log into your computer is by right-clicking down here, options, and open at login. So that will help you. So back to this part of the SPM. This will allow you to launch CreativeStudio. Smart Folder Manager will let you see kind of what you have in your smart folder. You can change the addition of your ink, your languages, what units you work in, printer utilities. You can see where your ink levels are at. This is set to an 800 right now that we currently have in the other room. I'm going to change it to 400, see if it'll start to register. It's not registering it right now, but we have definitely more than 0%. Susan, these are the different color selections. I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you could be a little bit more specific. This allows you to do your nozzle check, your head cleaning, full page bleeds. So this gives you a few other options when looking through your print manager. You can manage your page sizes that you have in your printer, and maybe option trays if you have more option trays. If you have multiple printers, you can manage those and make sure that the right ones are enabled. So that's just a few of the things that you can do within your Sawgrass Print Manager. I'm going to have, in a few minutes, Jesse join me. We're going to go through some just general question and answers for you guys. We know you have some questions still, so if you want to hang tight. Why or when to use a graphic or vivid setting? Susan, that's a great question. So let me reopen this up here. Give me 1 second, because Susan asked a really good question. She wants to know, when it comes to choosing your color setting, photographic, vivid, graphic, etc., how you know when to choose the right one. And that is awesome. So down here in color mode, so photographic, as Susan said, is pretty self-explanatory. You use that one when you're using a photograph to print. Vivid, we suggest using when you have very contrasted colors all in the same design. So if you have a really deep black and then a bright yellow, okay, Dana, that's what you're asking as well. Okay, I thought you meant within the CreativeStudio when it comes to color changing. So I'm glad I can answer both these questions at once. So When it comes to vivid, yeah, if you have two very different colors, one very dark, one very light, or multiple very dark and very light colors, that's when I would suggest doing vivid. Vivid does not work very well on skin tones because it can make you look very orange or very dark, and your features on your face don't pop out as much. Graphic, I would suggest using graphic when using a design, like a logo. That works best for those. Grayscale, more of a black or white. Cool gray, also for more of that grayish, bluish grayish feel. And then classic is kind of similar to graphic. What I always suggest is kind of press around and play with it. You'll get a little bit of a sneak peek of how it will look in your print manager before you print. You'll kind of see more of how your photo changes, your design changes based on which one you press. How do you size a photo so you can do length or width without doing both? Cherise, that's a great question, and something Justin and I will probably address in our question and answer session, but I can just quickly tell you that right now it's not an option, but it's something that we are trying to incorporate. So guys, thank you so much for asking your questions. Thank you for tuning in. We want to keep this short for playback reasons so that people can easily get the answers to their questions. Gonna bring Jesse in here in a few minutes. We're gonna do a question and answer session for you guys so we can get your questions answered and you guys can definitely feel more confident about this new product. So we'll be back in a little bit. Bye.